Hey everyone, Brendan the Blind Guy here. Now, look, I know I can be a little bit unstable at times, but I just hope everyone isn't giving in on me because I tell you, my love of bringing you incredible artists just the way you like it is immortal. But look, at the end of the day, just do what you want to do, and I'll keep delivering on my promises. But trust me, when I say that right here, the opportunity to witness rock greatness firsthand, do not blow it away. So get ready to start freaking out with excitement over Tim Flucky from US rock powerhouse Adema. How are you, Tim?
Wow, I'm doing great. I'm doing a lot better now after that amazing intro. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. I do love my intros. So, but cool. Well, now that the intro's done and all of that, cool. It's just it's all cruisy from here. I'll just sit back and relax. So,
No problem.
well, okay. So we're chatting today because after 25 long years of you being in the band, and since your first album in 2001, you finally get to bring the amazing live performances to Australian shores, touring with Ill Niño. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah, Ill Niño. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. We have never been to Australia, so we can't wait to go there and play some of these songs for the first time over there.
Yeah, definitely. So have you been to Australia in your personal lives before?
I have not. None of us have. No. So we're all excited.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you gonna try and do some boxing matches with some kangaroos, or wrestle some crocodiles or something like that.
And I think we're going to stay away from the all the stereotypes that are probably not true.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think I'm the tourist kind of in the band, so I like to just try to see as much as I can. And I've been, I know a little bit about cities in Australia, and so I've been doing some research about like what can I see when I have some time, what can I do. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
yeah, definitely. Sounds good. Well, I'm here in Sydney, and of course, I know it's a stereotype, but Sydney Harbour with the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge
Uh,
is a sight to behold.
yeah, I think that's definitely on the list. That's definitely a must see for sure.
Oh, well, yeah. So, I mean, you'd be crazy if you didn't catch them. But
That would be like going to like New York and not seeing the Statue of Liberty or something. That'd be like yeah.
yeah, so that is very cool, very cool. Okay, so with the performances that you'll be bringing to Australia in only a few short weeks with the Il Nino. So, okay, apparently you guys, heavy riffs and so hooks and melodies that, really going to pump up the energy. So, kind of describe to me and the fans of what you as a band kind of bring to the stage apart from what we hear in the recorded music.
Well, I think that we bring, like you said, the songs are full of energy, so we try to bring energy for sure. Being a singer and me, and talking to the crowd and getting a relationship with the crowd. We like to have fun too. So, it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of having fun, and that's kind of always been our band too. Is we always like to meet as many people as we can. We like to go out and meet fans after the show, before the show. So that's just kind of our vibe. Has always been like the music has serious meaning, and when we play it, we get the energy. But we also we're also a rock band. We're gonna have some fun. I mean, we're not gonna just it's not gonna be gloom and doom the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. So, okay. So, have you guys ever toured with Il Nino before?
We played shows with them. It's been so long. I don't know if it was an actual tour, but we have over the years played. I mean, I think we did do a little bit of tour with them, but like I said, my memory's not that amazing. But I know we played plenty of shows with them. It's just been a long time. And then we played a show in Mexico City last year with a lot of, it was called the Nu Metal Revolution. And so we got back to, they played that show and Drowning Pool and Static X and Kitty and Mudvayne, all those bands from back in the day. And a lot of them we haven't been around for years, even though we've never stopped touring. So it was cool to kind of meet up with them. And we were like talking to Dave from Ill Niño, like, why aren't we playing shows together? And they agreed. So this is kind of born out of that.
Yeah, very nice. Cool. So do you reckon there's going to be any kind of collaboration on stage at performances between you guys and Ill Niño,
You never know. I mean, a lot of the times those things kind of come out organically when you're on tour and you just go, hey, I'd like to sing on that song, or hey, do you want to sing on this song? So yeah, those are usually never planned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it might happen. You never know.
Cool. Well, I really do hope so, because I love it when bands kind of just do a bit of impromptu seems like it's impromptu of bringing, support bands out and do a bit of collab or, whatever.
Yeah. That stuff is usually definitely, most of the time, it's not rehearsed.
Yeah.
And you can, and it's always just for fun. You know what I mean? So I have, being a singer, I have rarely done that, but on the last tour, there was some of that going on. So that was fun. And then when we toured Linkin Park, they were always cool. They would always like, even if you weren't a singer, when they were doing, their last song, their encore, they'd be like, hey, if you guys want to come out, there's like a bunch of microphones sitting over here if you want to just come out and sing with us. So we're like, okay. So we, back then we would get drunk and then go do that. So I'm sure it sounds amazing.
Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah, right. So what do you reckon is kind of like a goal for the Australian tour? Whether it's like something you really want to see or do, or so what are you like most looking forward to? And like,
well, I mean, a couple of things. Of course, like I always want to soak up a place that I've never been to before, and get to know the people and get to know what it's like there, and that's been one of my big interests. You mentioned, somebody mentioned food to me earlier about in Australia. I'm a big food guy, like most people, but I'm into it for sure. So that's exciting for me. But mostly it's just the goal really is we want to like go there and introduce people to Adema and live, and hopefully they like it, and hopefully they'll have us back for more. So that's the main goal to me.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Good outset on it. Very nice. So, yeah, righto. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys have been working on a new album recently, haven't you?
We are, yeah. We're pretty close to getting it done. We recorded almost all the instruments. There's like a few maybe guitars left. I got to do the vocals. I mean, they're all written and it's all been demoed out, of course, but I just have to go on. I think I'm going in maybe Saturday to start on some vocals. So, it's a couple of days from now. So, I'm excited about that. So we signed a record deal with Cleopatra maybe a year ago. And so we'll be getting it done here pretty soon.
Very, very cool and exciting. So
yeah.
I was reading that you guys are, over the years you've had different lineup changes and, different styles, and like, because do you still like not like to be labeled as new metal and rather be just labeled as rock because it's so broad?
I don't think it. I think it mattered for a little while. I mean, like every band gets labeled something, and it's always about the time that you're, the era rather that you're in. And so I think every new metal band after new metal was not in vogue, everybody was like, oh, we're not new metal. I'm a fan of music. I don't really take offense to it. It's the genre we're in, the world we're in. I've talked to a lot of new metal bands. I don't think they care anymore. I think most new metal bands are, personally, I won't speak for them, but I'm like, well, we're in an era, people, liked our music. We're still doing it now. I mean, that's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, nobody would have agreed to play the new metal revolution. You know what I mean? but they would have asked to change it to a different name. I think it's kind of one of those things where you kind of wear it a little more proudly the longer you've been around. So, Yeah, we've never. I mean, we've called ourselves a rock band. We our band, but I can see why people would call us a new metal band.
Yeah. Well, so when I listen to your music, I'm like, okay, I don't put you in one label or another. I kind of go, yeah, there's new metal, there's rock, there's alternative, there's metal, there's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
But so on the new album, and so like with, as I said, different lineup changes over the years, with but you being the consistent one. So what kind of new direction and flavors are going to be featured on the new album?
Well, it's funny, and actually, really, me and Chris and Dave have been in the band the whole time.
Oh yeah,
So
sorry, yeah,
yeah, no, that's okay. But I just want fans to know. And then Mikey was out for a little while, but it wasn't really kind of that original demo without Mikey. So Mikey's now back in the band. So it's not, I'm sure but it's all four original members of the band that are the band.
yeah,
And our singer Marky came back a few years ago, and then he essentially retired. And I had sang before, and then we brought in a singer that we knew was going to be temporary, and so we always knew we'd probably go back to this format. But we haven't done a record. My point is, we haven't done a record where all four of us in the band have done a record since that it's been a long time. It's got to be
early
running on
2000s,
yeah, 20 years, maybe 2000.
yeah,
And so what's kind of been born out of that doing this record is that these songs, a lot of these songs, obviously you evolve, but a lot of these songs are sounding like those first records because of that. We have, I had to change my writing style when Mike was out of the band. I mean? A lot of times I would be able to kind of minimalize riffs or parts. I love riffs, so I'll always write riffs,
yeah,
but it was like one of those things where when you're doing like choruses or bridge or something, I can sit there and go, okay, well, this is cool, but it's going to be way cooler when Mikey does what he does. You know what I mean? So, and that's just the guitar side. Everybody does not their thing, but it's just when it comes to guitars, it was like, now I can kind of go back to that mode of writing. You know what I mean? So that's what's like. I guess my to answer the question, yeah, that's the new record sounds like the old stuff, probably more than anything we've done in the last 20 years.
yeah, nice. And yeah, my apologies when I said you being. I should have said you're.
Well, I'm here. You're talking to me. No need to apologize. I was just saying, like, I just want the
Yeah.
fans to know that, we've had a core around, but like I said,
Yeah.
one guy can change the dynamic, and so that's why our music has probably been so diverse in those albums, because we had to change our writing style or change how we're going to do it, and we love those albums. It's just, like I said, it's just how it is right now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And so what about the lyrical content? Like, so I'm guessing, the lyrical content and the stories are going to basically be about your and the band, you as the band, your own personal experiences and views on the world and everything. So kind of run me through a little bit of the lyrical content of where your heads have been at with the actual, yeah, as I said, well, lyrical.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's just been our experiences over, kind of diving into those experiences over the last 20 years. Obviously, personal stuff that I've gone through or guys have gone through, just dealing with, we're not political, but we're more on the just kind of analyzing emotions or situations or things with anxiety or depression or, that's what I've said this before, that, that's what music is an outlet. That's why I wanted to play in a band, was because all these bands helped me through all these times in my life. And that's the greatest thing. That's the greatest compliment you can get. Every show you play, somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you got me through a period of time. You helped me through this, and this song, I still listen to it today because it reminds me of those times and how I got through those times. So I just try to capture that stuff when I'm writing lyrics, and capture, like, hey, I'm going through this. A lot of times you feel like you're the only one going through it, but especially being in a metal community, that, hey, there's people that have gone through this, and there's people that can relate to this. So that's usually the stance I take. A lot of times it's specific things that happen, but I just kind of try to lyrically paint it out, a little bit broader. You know what I mean? I'm not. as although I love a Johnny Cash, I'm not really a storyteller. You know what I mean? I'm just more of a,
Yeah.
I'm more just trying to catch an emotion or a feeling.
Yeah. Well, that's a story in itself. So,
Yeah, yeah, it can be, but it's not literally. I mean, I'm rolling down a train down the tracks kind of thing. But
right. Yeah. So that, I was going to like leave it towards the end, but like you bringing up, depression and anxiety and, to show people that, that, solidarity kind of thing. So for fans watching that maybe struggling with some of the same emotions that you've been through, what advice would you give them?
I would say it's the oldest advice I think in that kind of world is to talk to somebody, talk to a friend, make sure that you're letting people know. It's hard to find a safe place now. It's hard to find people to talk to. They're not going to go tell their friends or go on the internet and all that stuff. And having I have two kids that are one's just started college or is in college, and one's in high school. And so I watched them grow up in a world where you got to be careful, but just find a friend that that you can talk to, that you can be vulnerable to. And I think being vulnerable to people it is a big thing. I think you have to be able to let people know what's going on and just get it off your chest. And if you're listening to people that are saying that, just listen to them. You know what I mean? And just take it in. And it doesn't have to be necessarily fixed the minute that somebody tells you something. It's just better to listen and just let them know that you're there. Let them know that you've had the same experiences. So I think that goes a long way. You don't want to internalize everything. You don't want to just. We've all, not all, but people who deal with this have tried to self-medicate. I mean, it works for a little while, but it doesn't work. It doesn't really solve anything. So at some point, you're going to have to let it all go.
Yeah. Wow. That's really good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, so you kind of made me just think of, you know, so whether it's your music or your family, what are you most thankful for? Because it seems like you've been through the trenches and you've come out the other side, strong, bigger, stronger, faster, better kind of thing. So, but
Well, when it comes to our career, I mean, like obviously you're thankful for your family and the people around you. And I've been lucky. I have wonderful kids, wonderful wife, all that stuff. So I've been lucky in that part of my life. But when it comes to like my career, I'm thankful that I'm thankful for all the guys in the band. For all the guys to be in all of us to still be in this band after everything that we've kind of went through. And to not ever really waver in the midst or in the when stuff goes down that's crazy. I mean, our band has had kind of like a pretty typical journey where you start out and you're coming out like gangbusters, and then your style of music may not be the thing people are into in the mainstream, but that's fine. And you go from playing bigger shows to smaller shows, and sometimes you play shows where nobody's there. That happened for years. Now it's a lot better. People are but we knew that if we just stick around and stay here, that we'll come back around to times that are like now. Like I don't think 10 years ago we would have thought we were going to Australia or New Zealand or going into Mexico or going to Europe next year. All these things that that we thought were maybe done, but we had those thoughts that it could be done. But then we thought, well, no, this is going to come back around. We just got to keep plugging away and doing our thing. So I'm thankful that those guys, stuck around. I'm thankful that the fans stuck around. So that, we got a lot to be thankful for sure.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Well, I reckon it's time we get exclusive, Tim. Just me and you.
Okay.
Well, and of course all the viewers, but whatever. So what would you say an exclusive fun fact is about yourself? It could just be the most random thing, just something that my good old friend Google wouldn't be able to easily dish up on you, like a favorite drink or a secret hobby, whatever.
I would go with I would go with what do you call it? So I mean, I don't know if some people know this in America. I don't know if they know it there, but I played basketball in college. I played, and I also loved sports. I played football, and even though I was a metalhead kid, and not necessarily a jock, but when I was a senior in high school, I won the Illinois. I'm from the state of Illinois, so I won the Illinois State Slam Dunk Championship.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so I beat a guy who ended up going into the pros. I played a little bit of college basketball, but I flunked out because I wanted to be in a band. But but I'm like 6'9", so I'm pretty tall, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty epic.
Yeah. So, but people kind of, if they've never seen our band before, we have a guy I'm 6'9", our bass player is like 6'4", 6'5", our drummer's 6'3".
Wow.
Yeah. We're like kind of huge dudes. And people kind of don't realize when they start taking pictures with us, they're like, oh my God, we had no idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're pretty tall.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for my favorite question. I think you know
Okay.
Tim, but I hope you've been thinking about it.
Okay.
Right. It's what the fuck time. So what would you say the most hilarious, priceless, what the fuck moment on your career has been?
I don't know if it's hilarious, but it's priceless. And it's a what the fuck moment. So I'm a huge, Pantera fan. Dimebag is what was my favorite. It was my favorite band growing up. And so, when we got a record deal, I would do some interviews and I would say to people, hey, in the interviews, like ask your influence. I'd be like Dimebag. My son's name is Abbott, by the way. So named after, Dimebag's last name. So we're playing in Dallas with Disturbed at the arena there. And I look over like 2 or 3 songs in and Dimebag's standing there. And I'm like, why is he here? I mean, like I was just, I know they're from that area, obviously, but I was like, what's going on here? So I was like, 27-ish or something at the time. I just looked over and then it's a huge crowd, maybe 15,000 people. I look over, see him. And like after the 4th song, I just walk over to him and I go, I can't believe you're fucking here, dude. Like, why the fuck are you here? He's like, we came to see you, brother. I'm all, are you serious? He's all, you want a shot? I go, yeah, I want a shot. He turns around. He has 2 black tooth grins ready to go. We take a shot. He fucking goes, mind you, we're only halfway through our set, maybe, you know what I mean? And I can hear my singer talk and they don't know where the hell I'm at. I say to him, I go, hey man, you're the reason I do this shit, and he's all, fuck yeah, brother. He's all, after the show, there's going to be a limo. Whoever wants to get it, it's going to take you to the club because they had a strip club back then, And so I'm like, this can't be happening. So I go back out. My singer's like, where's Flucky at? Like, we need to do the next song. I come walking out and the whole crowd's like looking at me. I walk up to my mic and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. I just was saying hi to my new best friend over here. I'm sure you guys know who it is. It's Dimebag Darrell. And he comes walking out, takes a couple steps out. The crowd just goes insane, of course. And so after the show started out, there was a limo sitting there. We went to the club, and he the whole night they just played our first record over and over again on the loop. And I was just like, this can't be real. Yeah. So that was pretty amazing. And then we became friends after that. And anytime we were around each other, we'd go to shows. So that was pretty amazing experience for me. There's nothing really had topped that or could top that when it comes to meeting like your heroes or just something. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, whoa, that's absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah, it's like it's what it was. You never think like I don't know. You grow up and you think like, does people even know who we are, or would they even like our music? And he's just like jamming to it, and he's like, and people like him too that have been like, you fucking made it. You're here, dude. Like, it doesn't matter, what your music is. You fucking made it. You're here.
Yeah, that's mind blowing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, speaking of incredible and mind blowing, it has been absolutely that chatting to you today, Tim. Thank you so much, and can't wait to catch you in Australia.
Thank you so much, man. I hope to meet you there, man. Thanks for everything. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Take
All
care.
right, bye.